Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon and welcome to the ballpark at Ashburn at the International Baseball Center. Greece have it all to play for here. They are the visiting team against Team Norway, and they will bat first. They're going to take their hacks in order. Max Gorin in center field, Peter Mastralis, the shortstop, then Constance Kapithanassis, Big Ari Sakopoulos leading the competition in RBIs, comes in 11 RBIs to date. DH is Dimitri Cortes, he's in the 5-hole. Bill Les at the hot corner is 6th. Then Jordan Tliveris, the backstop. John Kalivas, the right fielder. And Jamie Lekas. And they are going to face down a Norwegian team that has the day one starter Emil Fjellvang on the mound. Now Skip Essien and Andy Johnson go to home plate for the conference and exchange lineups. And Norway have had a disappointing championship. They sit bottom of the standings. 3 games, 3 defeats. They had yesterday's blowout loss to Finland. They had kept it tight behind 16-year-old pitcher Aiden Blörsjö. And then when they got into the 6th, they lost control of it. 8 fielding errors and quite a few hits. Led to a 16-run 6th, and they lost that one. Finland scored 22 runs. Only 6 runs were earned. A bit of a horror show for the Norwegian defense, so they will look to bounce back from that, make their plays against a very good Greek team who have only really been silenced by Ireland. Team Ireland playing Team Slovenia tonight. Greece come into this one 2 wins and 1 defeat, looking to go 3-1 and just guarantee that they can make it into the final. Of course, if they lose this one by a major scoreline, there'll be an account back on run differential with Finland, over whom they currently have a 15-run advantage. So in the unlikely event of Norway blowing this one out early and winning by 16 or more runs, we may not see an Irish-Greek final. But on balance of probabilities, tomorrow's showcase game at 2 p.m. is going to be the Hellenic Republic of Greece against your team, Ireland. But back to today's affair, the leadoff man is Max Gorin. He's going to dig in to face Fjellvang in just a minute. Gorin has scored more runs than anybody else in the competition to date, does a great job of getting on base, swings a decent bat, has a good eye, draws a lot of walks. Norway, again, without the veteran presence of player coach Andy Johnson. He injured himself, unfortunately, rounding the base paths in his first game, which was against Ireland. Ireland were lucky that he tripped rounding third. They were able to tag him out, prevent Norway from scoring the first run in the first. Norway would race out to a 3-run lead, but would then absolutely get tanked by the Irish bats for the rest of the game. So Andy Johnson came into the second game as a pinch hitter, got himself a hit by pitch, and was replaced by a pinch runner. And then in Norway's third game yesterday, Andy Johnson served as a designated hitter, did well with the bat, and was eventually replaced by Casper McWilliam, who comes into second base today. So Norway on defense will line up as follows. The pitcher, of course, is Emil Fjellvang. Started game 1 against Ireland. He will be throwing to Gunnar Henriksson, catching his 4th game of this tournament. Chris Malch has slid across the diamond from third to first. Javier Alvarez will man the hot corner. Up the middle, Stefan Torgerson and Casper McWilliam are the middle infield pairing. Torgerson continues at shortstop, looking to avoid the horror show he had yesterday. This fine young shortstop's throwing arm abandoned him, and he committed quite a few errors in the game. He'll be looking to make up for that. Of course, a lot of those errors in yesterday's games could probably have been prevented by Fjellvang had he dug a few out at first base, but unfortunately the nature of the game is you got to give the errors to the throw. And across the outfield, it's going to be Bjornsson in right, Jan Glue in left, and Johan Madsen up the middle. And the first pitch is going to come now. Home plate umpire is Miladin Pigac from Slovenia. He's assisted by the Irishman Damiano Iacobelli. And Dutchman Peter Brink at the corners as Gorin watches that one for ball 1. So Fjellvang from the windup. That one's in the dirt for a ball. And there's a shot out to center field. Madsen will try and track this one, but it's right in the gap. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Glue is rounding first hard all the way to second. Stand-up double for the leadoff man, Max Squarin. That one went right between Erik Bjørnsen and Johan Madsen in right center field. Skipped up towards the warning track, and Gorin has a double to lead off the ball game. Stepping in is the fine shortstop, Pete Maestrales. And Maestrales watches that one up high for a ball. Maestrales played the first 2 games for Greece in the outfield, came into the infield in the last game, played a fine defensive shortstop. So Skip Essien trusts him with that most responsible of defensive positions in this one. Left-handed batter with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. Hits that one on the ground. Foul. Hard hit, foul ball, wrong side of the first base bag. This broadcast is brought to you by Foley's New York Bar and Grill, home of the Irish American Baseball Hall of Fame, in the shadow of the Empire State Building in New York City. Foley's, New York. Fjellvang now from the stretch. And it's popped up high, but back. Looks like it's a dead ball into the crowd, and yep, that one will fall dead. So the sunny Irish summer seems to have deserted us slightly for today. It's overcast. There's a chill wind coming in from the west. I think it's more likely to make the Norwegians feel at home than the Greeks. That one is a breaking ball. Doesn't break enough. It's high. And despite the good effort at framing it by catcher Gunnar Henriksen, catching his 4th game, there is not an... There is a shot back and out of play. Not an inning in this competition that Gunnar Henriksen hasn't caught. The man must have knees made of rubber. So Fjellvang trusted with the ball today for Norway. We'll feel that he let himself down yesterday with some of his defensive play at first base. As he steps off and checks the runner back to second base. Maestrales at bat, nobody out, and Gorin on second base. That's in the dirt. That one's on the ground to second base, where it's unbelievably going to be a put out as the second baseman, Casper McWilliam, failed to glove that one. It came off his foot. So an unorthodox put out scored in your scorebooks 4-3. As it came off Casper McWilliam's left foot, he just accidentally chipped it right up towards first base, where the new first baseman, Chris Malsh, is able to make a play. And I've never seen anything like that. That's incredible. As that one to Kapathanasis misses for a ball. The runner, meanwhile, on the play advances to third base, so he's 90 feet closer to home. Constant Kapathanasis digging here, the left fielder, is the real success story of this Greek team, as he pops that one up and away, out to foul ground and dead. Started off on the bench, came on as a pinch hitter in 2 games. Broke up that no-hitter for Greece against Ireland. Then made the starting lineup in the bottom half of the order in yesterday's game and hit so well that he has been promoted up to the 3-hole in this one. So having himself a tournament, Constant Kapathanasis. That's a line drive right up the middle. It continues, an RBI base hit. So Constant Kapathanasis, Costa to his friends. 1-0 to Greece. Ari Sakopoulos, 11 RBIs to his credit. The only game in which he is not impressed was the Irish game when he had 3 at-bats, was 0 for 3, struck out swinging, and flied out to right. Clobbers almost everything to his pull field, and yet has had remarkable success. There's not even a point in shifting this guy. If he gets good contact, it's going into the housing estate next door to the field. First pitch, swinging, foul ball down the line. Ari Sakopoulos already has a home run to his name, and he had another double that was just robbed by the wind. Came back in, clipped off the fence. As he watches a breaking ball in for a strike. He jaws a little, thinks it was too low, but that was absolutely over the knees as it came across the plate. Sakopoulos, unlike a lot of left-handed hitters, not a traditional low ball hitter, doesn't like to dig it out. He likes to get good contact on that fastball up and away, and when he does, he can get his hands inside it and pull it. Swing and a miss. And Sakopoulos is a victim of the strikeout. 2 away.
2 away, now batting.
That's going to bring up the DH, Dimitri Cortis. Cortis was the starting pitcher in yesterday's game. He swung the bat for himself in that one, as that one just misses. His bat's so effective that he's captain Skip Ession's lineup as the designated hitter in this one to give him a little bit of a spell. The Shohei Ohtani approach, when your pitcher can swing the bat, you want to get him in the lineup, you put him in as a DH. Buckles, but, oh, good eye. He watches that one inside. Pickoff move, and he's safe at first base. That one misses for ball 3. So Fjellvang has been close, but not close enough on 3 pitches, and it's 3-0 to the Greek DH, Dimitri Cortis. Bill Les is on deck. A fine game with the stick in yesterday's affair. And ball 4, as Fjellvang just can't lay it in there. Cortis taken all the way, but Fjellvang can't find the zone on a fastball inside, and runners on first and second with 2 men dead for Bill Les.
Number 25, Bill Les.
So again, Fjellvang misses with a fastball for ball 1. Popped up high, but back and gone over the backstop for a foul ball. And there's a fly ball to right field, but it is tailing away over the scoreboard into the home bullpen. Another foul ball. That one was a long foul ball. He hit that one about 300 feet down the right field line, but it just tailed away. The runners are going to have to retreat to first and second. So if you're just joining us, You've seen a remarkable first half of the inning. An incredibly unorthodox 4-3 putout off the left cleat of Casper McWilliam. And you've seen a solid line drive base hit up the middle for an RBI in the first run of the game. So runners at first and second, 2 men away, and Bill Les is battling hard at the plate here. Fjellvang is trying to get his third out and get out with minimal damage. This Greece team have shown that when they can score in fits and bunches, and this Norwegian team knows after last night's blowout victory, they have nothing left to play for but pride, but they're a very proud bunch. The last thing they want is to give up another lopsided score. Jordan Cliveras, the catcher for Greece, is on the bench. He's on deck. That one's on the ground. To third base, where Alvarez will step on the bag and record the out. And Les is going to argue that that one was touch foul, but certainly from this angle it looked like it was gloved in fair territory. The force out was recorded, and the side is retired. Greece take a 1-0 lead. Norway trying to get that one back in the bottom of the first. They scored 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 men on base. We'll be back at the bottom. Ready to roll?
The score is 1-0.
So we're back here in the bottom of the first. Greece leapt out to a
Number 10,
1-run lead.
Alvarez.
That's going to bring up the leadoff man, Javier Alvarez, the third baseman for Norway. He shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's a strike on the pitch anyway. Good fastball there from the Greek number 22, Nick Lettuce, pitching on just 1 day's rest. But he had a short outing as a reliever 2 days ago. That one just misses. And Nick Lettuce, the pitcher, can stare all he wants, but his batter's got the same strike zone in the top of the first, and consistency has been Pigach's watchword Talia Alvarez watches that one up and outside. Swing and a miss, strike two. And he fouls that one away to stay alive. 2-2 at the plate. So Lettuce resumes the mound. He's gone from the stretch here despite no runners on. He did demonstrate that he pitches from both stretch and windup, but is more comfortable with his unconventional version of the windup that starts in the stretch position. There's a ball on the ground. Deflected off the pitcher to short. The play is made. Good scoop by Sakopoulos. That one deflected right off the pitcher to the shortstop Pete Maestrales, who gathered in the glove and fired a strike to Sakopoulos. Score it 1-6-3 in your playbooks if you're playing along at home. And now the question is, did it injure Nick Lettuce? It did not. Lettuce, of course, took that hard hit ground ball off his hip in the game against Ireland and will come out of the game in the following inning. So again, he's clobbered by a pitch, but he recovers to get a swing and a miss, foul tip. And that one is on the ground to third, where it's going to get by. Base hit up the line. And he's going to try and stretch it to two, and oh, bad move if ever there was one. The speedy Javier Alvarez overestimates how quickly that throw is going to come in. Kapithanasis throws him out at second base. Billes at third base completely misplayed that one. I mean, we can't even give him an error. His glove came nowhere near it. He was just not in the right body position to field that one. He tried to let it come into his backhand, and the ball didn't hop enough to get into the glove. It scoots up the line. Kapithanasis in left field fires a strike to second base as he realizes that Alvarez is trying to stretch that to two. Correction, Rodriguez. That was, of course, the DH, Armando Rodriguez. Stefan Torgerson steps in, watches a strike. And that one is right up the middle. Good dive at second base. And a great stretch from the big guy, Sakopoulos. Jamie Lecas dives to his right, regathers, makes the throw. Sakopoulos saves an error, and the side is retired. So Greece scored no runs on one base hit that was thrown out, trying to stretch it into two. No walks and no errors, and they don't even leave a man on base. So Jordan Tlaveras going to lead off the Top of the second here. Greece have staked themselves a 1-0 lead in the first inning on the Constant Kapithanasis RBI base hit. Slaveras watches that one up for a ball. Norway got themselves a base hit in the bottom of the first, but the speedy Armando Rodriguez was beaten by a throw from Kapithanasis, trying to stretch a single into a double as that one flied to center field, where Madsen will range to his left and make a good play. Nice, solid two-handed grab from the young Johan Madsen in center field, and the first out of the inning is recorded. One down for the Greeks, and up comes John Kalivas. That's in for a strike. It's right across underneath the letters, and umpire P. Gotch indicates strike one called. Fjellvang pitching from the stretch. That one's in the dirt. Ball one, 1-1. It's gotten significantly cooler today at Ashburn. We're down from about 21 degrees to closer to 10. That one's fouled away. Heavy gray clouds on the horizon. A forecast for rain at about 8:30 p.m. today. Hopefully it stays away for our 2 ball games. We have a great one coming up this afternoon. Ireland against Slovenia. Right here at Ashburn. Ireland already guaranteed a finals place, but they want to finish 4-0 in the round robin stage to all but guarantee promotion to the B pool. 2 C pool championships happening concurrently. One in Ukraine at the moment, where Ukraine are 4-0 and Ukraine 3-0 heading into the last day. All the other teams are at 2-2. So if Ukraine remain undefeated and win the final, then it looks like Ireland and Greece will both be promoted. Of course, if Ukraine lose the final, that's where it gets complicated, as Johnny Kalivas draws a walk, and that brings up the sting in the tail for Greece, Jamie Lekas.
For Greece, the second baseman, number 12, Jamie Lekas.
One away on the inning. The fly out to center field. Jordan Flaveras flew out to Johan Madsen, who made a good play out there. John Kalivas has just drawn a walk. Jamie Lekas at the plate, and he shows bunt, pulls it back on a ball high. And Fjellvang steps off as time is called. That one's a breaking ball, misses inside. That one's in for a strike. So Lekas digs in and watches this one in. Ball 4 in the dirt, and runners at first and second with one away for the leadoff man, Max Gworin. Led off the ball game with a double and would come around to score on the RBI base hit.
Number 11, Max Ford.
Adding to his total, Max Gworin has scored more runs than anybody else. His 9th was earlier on. That one's up at his neck for a ball, and he's not fishing that high. Gworin has demonstrated remarkable patience at the plate. Is good on base for Greece. Has done his job as a leadoff guy in every game to date. That one is right down the pipe for a strike. Norway have a lefty up and throwing in the home bullpen. They are probably going to use a ton of pitchers in this one, get some guys some work. They have nothing left to play for but pride. Fjellvang is, as this one is popped up. It is going to fall fair, and the runners are going to be forced. The throw home is going to corral him at second and third, and the bases are loaded on the bloop single. That one was popped up high. Casper McWilliam at second base had to go a long way to his left and at full extension could not make the play, but he gathered himself in time to pick the ball up and throw home. Peter Maestrales is going to step in now with the bases loaded and only one away.
Fans, friendly reminder, beware of bats and balls leaving the field of play. Thank you.
So Maestrales in the first inning thought he reached on an error, but the ball kicked off the left cleat of Casper McWilliams right into the glove of first baseman Chris Malsh. I have never seen anything like it. Incredible soccer skills by McWilliam at second base. So he was thrown out on the play. He advanced Max Gore into third, and Gorin would score easily on Dimitri Cortis's single just two batters later as Maestrales watches that one in for a strike. So bases loaded, one away. And Greece with a gilt-edged opportunity to bust this one out. They lead it 1-0 here in this ball game. Day 5. That's a breaking ball, a beaut in for a strike. Day 5 of this ball game, of this European Sea Pool Championship. Ireland top the standings. They are undefeated going into tonight's game with Slovenia. That's a good block by Henriksen on a ball in the dirt. And that will prevent John Kalivas from scoring. Had a huge lead at third base. And with Fjellvang pitching from the windup, runners are going to take aggressive leads. Breaking ball doesn't break into the zone. It's a ball. And that'll square the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the dirt, fills it 3-2. So 3-2 with 1 out, and all the bags are juiced. There's nowhere to put him. Maestrales is going to dig in. He's got to have a close one to swing at, and Fjellvang needs to throw his best pitch in this situation. And it was a good pitch. Maestrales got around on it, but he can't straighten it out. It's a long foul ball into the batting cages here in deep right field. We got a nice carnival atmosphere going on here at the ballpark at Ashburn in the International Baseball Center. Food and beverages, cold beer, hot dogs, whatever you need for the ball game experience. And ball 4, RBI, bases loaded, walk for Maestrales, and that's going to bring up the fine hitting left fielder Costa Kapathanasis. So Greece doubled their lead, 2-0 your ball game, and there's 1 away and the bases are loaded.
Number 14, Costa Kapathanasis.
So he'll look to add to his RBI in the first here. Fjellvang goes from the windup again here. Popped up, out of play, foul ball. Strike 1. There's a fly ball to right field and back, but that one is hooking. Foul. Long run from McWilliam. He stretches out but can't make the play in foul territory. And strangely enough, the runner at third base didn't tag up on that play. The runner at third base is Jamie Lekas, the young second baseman. Kapithanasis reaches down to get that one. It's on the ground. They flip to second for one. Across the first, not in time. They only get one and the run scores. 2 outs on the inning. RBI ground out. Score it 4-6. And Kapithanasis is safe at first on a fielder's choice. Runners at the corners for Ari Sakopoulos. And Emil Fjellvang's day is done. They're going to make a Corks call to the pen as the lefty who's been warming up there is going to come in. And the new pitcher is number 1, Bendik Johansson, who has played first base and right field in several games for Norway already. So Emil Fjellvang's day is done. He's responsible for these runners at the corners here. In comes Bendik Johansson from the Trondheim Baseball Club, being cheered on by all his teammates, tuning in exclusively on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Baseball Ireland, the only place you can see this fine baseball action from the ballpark at Ashburn.
New pitcher for Norway, number 1, Bendik Johansson.
So Johansson is going to get his warm-up pitches here. So we've got a humdinger of a clash. Slovenia just about out of the running. Looking to finish with a decent record at 2-2, but Ireland undefeated, steamrolling opposition to date, looking to remain perfect going into tomorrow's final. And I've been talking to a lot of people in the crowd who said it's an opportunity for Ireland to rest a couple of key arms, get a few bench players in for game time, but manager Sean Mitchell has not taken that approach. He wants to make sure that they have the insurance policy of being at the very least the best second place team in these C-Pool championships. And they're going to need a perfect pool record for that. They want to go into the final at 4-0. So I don't see him taking his foot off the gas as they take on a Slovenia team who have underperformed to date. Slovenia had that fine win against Norway. I say fine win, it was a topsy-turvy game. They had a 9-1 lead. They went down 14-10 and they won at 27-18. It was a crazy one. They lost in extra innings to Finland, and then they were frankly embarrassed by Greece, so they'll want to improve on that showing. Ari Sakopoulos is going to dig in. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat. And he clobbers that one deep to center field. Madsen ranging back. And that one is never, ever coming back. Deep home run to the furthest away part of the ballpark. Deep center field. 3-run shot for Ari Sakopoulos. Second home run of the tournament. And he adds a further 3 RBIs to the 11 he had coming into this game. He and Brian McAuliffe have been the big bats of this tournament to date, and Sakopoulos has just leapt out in the showing there. So 2 outs on the inning, nobody on base. That's going to bring up the DH. Dimitri Curtis had the RBI single in the first inning. Sakopoulos there just got his fastball, the pitch he likes. And that's in for a strike from Bendik Johansson. And despite the lefty-lefty matchup, he clobbered it to deep center field. Madsen went all the way back to the fence, but that one was gone from the moment it left his bat. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 on Curtis. That one's up and away. Good waste pitch on 2 strikes from Bendik Janssen. And that one is just thrown away. Well, with no runners on, no damage is done. Squares the count, 2-2. That's another bad pitch there as it skips away. That's going to fill the count 3-2. And a shot deep to the outfield. Madsen is ranging in and makes a play on the dive. Great defensive effort by Johan Madsen, and the side is retired. The diving play coming in on a ball that was dying in shallow center. Came a long way to get it, but get it he did. We got 2 away, but Greece score 5 runs, 3 of them on the massive home run, 2 hits in total. Norway made no errors, and Greece left nobody on base. 6-0 ball game. Norway going to try and peg it back. Ready to go. So Norway will take their hacks now. Big Chris Malch, the first baseman, number 42, is going to step in. He, of course, had that grand slam, the biggest hit of the tournament so far in their defeat to Slovenia. One of the key moments in that game, it gave Norway a commanding, at the time, lead. But Slovenia would come back and win that one in retrospect with great ease. And he clobbers that one on the ground to short, where Maestrales gloves it, fires to Sakopoulos, and a very good scoop at first base. Sakopoulos is known for his bat, but he actually plays a fine defensive first base. He's such a big guy, he doesn't have to stretch that far to get balls like that in the dirt, and he can really dig it out. And at this level, a first baseman is absolutely crucial, as Norway demonstrated yesterday. Gunnar Henriksen's going to step in. Fjellvang was playing first base for Norway in yesterday's evening game against Finland, and to be brutally honest, as Henriksen looks at strike one called, Fjellvang has got to bear a lot of responsibility for plenty of the errors, certainly the ones made by Malch and Torgerson. They were, as that one is low for a ball, they were written into the scorebook as throwing errors, but if they had a guy like Ari Sakopoulos, or Irish first baseman Mike Ferrado, or any first baseman worth his salt, they certainly could have been dug out. And, you know, maybe we wouldn't have been looking at a 22-run scoreline. As that one is lined right up the middle, base hit for Norway. Gunnar Henriksen gets aboard. And he just pulls up at first. He's not going to make the same mistake Armando Rodriguez did, as he was thrown out on Norway's other base hit, trying to stretch it into 2 bags. So Henriksen's aboard with 1 away, and that's going to bring up Casper McWilliam. McWilliam, the middle infielder, making his first start of the tournament, has come on as a pinch hitter and pinch runner. Had success as a pinch hitter. That's in for a strike. And he swings at that one. Coming across at his thighs. He swings hard, but it's a foul ball. Out of play. Ooh, and that one just misses. Nice breaking ball. It's up and away. Scores the count at 2-2 now to McWilliam. He clobbers that one along the ground. Foul ball. He's hanging in there at the plate. Off-speed pitch from Nick Lettuce. That one misses. Fills the count 3-2. It was a nice pitch. Just a little outside, just a little low, but McWilliam spits on it. He's not interested. And there is a shot to the outfield, to right field, but well played. Great position. Oh, they double him off. They double him off at first base. That was a shot out to John Kalivas at right field, who was very shallow, played perfectly. And he threw it to Ari Sakopoulos. The Norwegians appeal that the throw dragged him off the bag. But the call is made. It's a double play. And Norway, again, are unable to profit on a base hit. They score no runs on one base hit. And yet another base running error means they don't even leave a man on base. All right, bring me back. So Greece get out of the inning unscathed, and Bill Les is going to come up to bat. This broadcast is brought to you by Foley's New York Bar and Grill, home of the Irish American Baseball Hall of Fame. And a special shout out to Greg and the Staten Island crew watching on. cheering on Nick Lettuce and Dimitri Kurtis on Team Greece as Les watches that one off-speed pitch come in for a strike. Bendik Johansson is on the mound. He came in relief of Emil Fjellvang in the last inning. Les swings and misses, strike 2. He watches that one up and away. Good waist pitch as the breaking ball is high and outside. Les isn't tempted. And that one misses to square the count, 2-2. The wind is picking up here at the ballpark at Ashbourne. Les lines that one foul into left field. Hard hit baseball, but foul all the way. Clips that one away, foul. Just a defensive hack there to stay alive at the plate. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that one just misses to fill the count, 3-2. Johansson dropping his arm slot, little sidearm action there on that one, and looks like a rising two-seam fastball. It kind of tries to fool the hitter, but he misses the zone. That one is just way away, all the way to the wall. Ball 4, Les is aboard. That'll bring up the catcher, Jordan Cliveras. No outs and a runner on first base. Greece have a commanding 6-0 lead here in the third. That's in for a strike. There's a fly ball. Torgerson goes way back into the outfield and makes a fine play. He's going to try and double him off. Yes, he does! So Torgerson makes the catch in shallow left field, and a bad base running error by Bill Les means he's doubled off as Torgerson fires a laser across to Malsh. So it's a fly out to the shortstop, and then they double him off, 6-3. So 2 away, and that's going to bring up John Kalivas. And if fielding errors were the story of last night's game, base running errors have been the story of today's game, as we've seen 2 men doubled off in consecutive half innings. And of course, the designated hitter for Norway, Armando Rodriguez, thrown out, foolishly trying to stretch a single into a double on what was a weakly hit ball to left field. That one is fouled away into the crowd. And there is a shot deep back to left field and gone. There's a solo shot for John Kalivas to his pull field, 350 feet away. Kalivas clobbers that one, second home run of the game for Greece, and it's a solo shot. And with 2 away on the inning, Kalivas scores, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Jamie Lekas. So Lekas is going to dig in after the solo shot gives Greece a 7-0 lead. That's a strike. It was a nice swing, nicely hit ball. Really well hit deep to the pull field. That one hits him. So Lekis is aboard. That's going to bring back up the leadoff man, Max Gorin, who is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. He has a double and a single. Gorin had that hard hit line drive up the middle in the first. He would eventually be scored by Curtis's RBI single. And then he had that bloop to right field in the second. Now here he is, third time up in the third. Greece, 7-0 to the good here. They want to close this one out as early as possible, spare as many arms as they can for the final against Ireland. Outside for ball 2. And truth be told, Norway not providing a huge amount of resistance here. They give up 5 runs in the second. That was the big inning so far, of course. We're 2 outs here in the third, man on first base, and already 1 run in via the solo shot from Big John Kalivas. That's in for a strike. Nice pitch there as he again drops his arm slot a little to get that sidearm action on a 2-seamer. And there's a shot out to left. That's going to fall in for a base hit. And they're going to hold the runner at second. So runners at first and second, 2 away, and up comes the shortstop, Peter Maestrales. Maestrales is 0 for 1. He had that unorthodox ground out in the first and was walked in the second and stranded at second. And that one went in and got him. Maestrales, one of the few switch hitters in this tournament, turned around and bat from the other side of the plate, but that one gets him on the thighs. Bases loaded. 2 outs, and up comes Constant Kapathanasis. Kapathanasis is 1 for 2. He has 2 RBIs to his name. He got that base hit in the first. He was safe on a fielder's choice on the attempted double play in the second and would eventually come around to score on the big fly from Ari Sakopoulos. So the bases are loaded, and Kapathanasis watches the first pitch. He clobbers it. Out. Center field. Torgerson goes into shallow center. Makes the play, and the side is retired. So Greece load the bases, but they get out of it with minimum damage. 1 run scores on the John Kalivas solo shot. Greece get 2 hits in total. No errors are committed, and they leave them loaded. We'll be back.
For Norway, right fielder number 29, Bjorn.
So Erik Bjørnsen is going to get his hacks here for Norway. They've been ineffective. They have managed to have a base runner erased in each of the first 2 innings. They trail at 7-0. So a couple of comments on the Facebook Live broadcast. Andre says the wind is good for home runs. The wind is actually blowing in, which makes the home run, as Bjørnsen watches a strike, he's kind of blowing in from right field. So that makes the pull shot home run from Sakopoulos even more impressive. And certainly Johnny Kalivas wasn't assisted by the wind in any way. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And Derek watching in, supporting Team Greece, says, way to go, Johnny. That solo shot from John Kalivas made a couple of Greek fans happy watching our broadcast here. Bjørnsen watches that one up and inside for a ball. He ducks his head out of the way. That one gets away as well, squares the count 2-2. So despite allowing a base runner in each of the innings, Greece have actually faced the minimum amount because they were able to throw out the designated hitter Rodriguez in the first, stretching out, and double off the catcher Gunnar Henriksson on a fly ball to right field. That one's low and inside. So from an 0-2 hole, Bjørnsen battles back. He's got it 3-2 now. And that's up, ball 4. So good plate appearance there by Bjørnsen. He's a base runner for Norway. He takes the leadoff walk, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Jan Glue. And third base coach Andy Johnson just comes in and tells Jan Glue the wind's blowing in, so hit it hard. That's in for a strike. Glue was tempted, but he watched it in, and it's a strike 1. Pops that one foul for a quick strike 2, and it's another 0-2 hole. Puts that one on the ground. Sakopoulos will throw to second for 1. And they'll just take the lead runner. Oh. And a horrendous error by Jan Glue. He thought it was caught on the fly by Sakopoulos. And he is doubled off. It's a double play, score 3-6-3. That is yet another base running error. And they erase yet another base runner as Johan Madsen comes in with the bases empty and 2 away. There's a phrase in sabermetric circles where a runner is tootblan, Tootblan, thrown out on the base paths like a nincompoop. It springs to mind as that one is in for a ball, squaring the count 1-1 to Johan Madsen. Madsen has had a couple of fine defensive plays in center field, deputizing for the veteran Andy Johnson, who got injured in Game 1 for Norway and has featured as a designated hitter and a pinch hitter in other games. That's inside and low. But Madsen, the youngster, has demonstrated fine fundamentals as a defender. Has swung the bat quite well as a left-handed hitter. And that one is on the ground. It's going to get past the third baseman. It's going to go to short. The throw to Sakopoulos. Not in time, and it's an infield single for Johan Madsen. Good speed. Beats the throw to first base. And that is going to bring up the leadoff man, third baseman, Javier Alvarez. Alvarez hit it hard against the pitcher, Nick Lettuce, in the first, but it rebounded to the shortstop, Maestrales, who was able to make the play. A 1-6-3 ground out. His second hack here. Watches that one in for a strike at the thighs. That one's in the dirt. Madsen's in motion. No throw. He's safe at second base on a wild pitch. Jordan Tliveras did a good job of keeping it in front, but it just skipped away to one side, and that was more than enough for the speedy Madsen to advance. If you're just joining us, Greece have a commanding lead, and Norway just can't stop getting thrown out on the base paths. A real head-scratcher in this inning from Jan Glue. He grounded it to Ari Sakopoulos, who went to turn the double play. Glue thought that Sakopoulos had caught it on the fly, so he turned away to the dugout and was easily thrown out on the back end of the slowest double play I've ever seen. That one's inside to Alvarez. It gets away, but not enough for Madsen to advance to third base. So we've seen two plays I've never seen before in this game so far. Of course, we had that incredibly unorthodox ground out in the first when Casper McWilliam booted the ball directly into the glove of Chris Malsh to record a 4-3 putout with his foot. That's in for a strike at the thighs. Alvarez watching all the way. A 4-3 foot out. I enjoyed that one way too much. That one misses. Low and outside, it's ball 4. And Norway with 2 outs have runners at first and second, and up comes the left-handed hitting Stefan Torgerson. No, correction. Armando Rodriguez, the designated hitter. Had a single in the first, but was thrown out trying to stretch it to a 2-bagger, so he is 1 for 1, an ineffective 1 for 1. And he clobbers that one to right field, but John Kalivas is right there, and the side is retired. So Norway get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 2 men on base. We're back right after. Top of the 4th, about to get underway here in the International Baseball Center at Ashburn. New pitcher for Norway, number 13, Alec Nielsen, into the game. Big Ari Sakopoulos is going to come in. He had that 3-run shot earlier on in the game. Really shot for the moon. And a reminder, you can help Baseball Ireland shoot for the moon and fulfill our goals with our GoFundMe appeal right there on the URL on your screen. The Irish National Baseball Team is an amateur team. It's an amateur program. And running tournaments and going to tournaments across the world can be quite costly. Please help us defray these costs. GoFundMe.com. The Irish National Baseball Team appeal. Again, that URL on your screen. Thank you for your support. Mladen Pigac, home plate umpire, puts it in play, and Nielsen will face. Sakopoulos, first pitch, swinging deep, back, and that one is going to be taken in by Madsen on the long run in right center field. 1 pitch, 1 out for Nielsen, and that's just what he needed after he got roughed up in relief in yesterday's game against Finland. First pitch swinging from Sakopoulos, swinging for the fences. He got underneath that one. It's a fly out to center. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Dimitri Kurtis, being watched by Greg and the Staten Island crew. exclusively live. That one is in for a ball over the letters on Baseball Ireland's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Let us know where you're watching from. Greece versus Norway here at the International Baseball Center at Ashburn. There's a shot, popped up and back out of play for a foul ball. There's a shot on the ground. Good single from Cortis. He's aboard. So a base hit through the left side for Dimitri Cortis, and he's aboard. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Bill Les. Les is 0 for 1 with a walk. He digs in with one away and a runner on first. And that one's a foul ball. Ball in the dirt from Nielsen. Up and inside, backs him away off the plate. And a high pop-up into foul ground and out of play into the bleacher seats. So the Greek traveling support here at Ashburn outnumbers the Norwegian supporters in the ground by about 4 to 1. Resplendent in blue and white, maybe shivering a little with the cold Irish summer breeze, but certainly here for a good time, not for a long time. They've had a tremendous week being hosted by beautiful County Meath. As that one is clobbered on the ground to Torgerson is short, backhands it, fires a strike across the diamond to Malsh, and there's 2 away. Really good backhanded defensive effort from Torgerson. Cortis advances to second base on the play, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Jordan Tliveras, with a runner in scoring position and 2 away. Ball in the dirt. Blocked by Henriksen back there. So a 2-way, Alec Nielsen has a chance to get out with a clean inning. It would be the first of the ball game for Norway. They're chasing 7 runs here at the top of the 4th. Swing and a miss from Tliveras. And that one's fouled away for a strike. So now with 2 outs, Nielsen has got 2 strikes on Tliveras. There is a runner in scoring position. And that's on the ground again to Torgerson. He gets his body behind it, fires across the Malsh, who makes the grab, and the side is retired. Alec Nielsen does a great job in relief there, shuts down the Greek team. They get 1 base hit, but they fail to record any runs on it. No errors and 1 man left on base. And Norway have a chance to try and eat into that big lead right.
How good is Ukraine?
They're practically qualifiers. The guys are all paid to do nothing but baseball.
Really?
Yeah. Hold over from the Soviet era.
Really?
And I mean, they get about $500 a month.
How do they receive it? Did they fall down from B last year?
Yeah. It's finishing the bottom three of the big league.
That's how it is. You finish in the bottom three, you're down, and the top two go up.
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
So Lettuce is still on the mound. Is that a new catcher? Yeah, that is a new catcher. Jamie Leckas swap places.
Defensive swap for Greece. Catcher Cliveris now playing second base. Second baseman Lekas now playing catcher.
All right, let's go.
Leading it off here in the bottom half of the fourth inning for Norway. Shortstop number 30.
So a little defensive switcheroo here as the catcher Jordan Cliveris goes to second for Greece. He's replaced by the second baseman Jamie Leckas, a straight swap. Torgerson is going to dig in to lead it off here for Norway. He watches that one in for a strike. Norway went to the pen again and brought in Alec Nielsen. And he shut them down. He gave up one base hit, but finally held Greece scoreless. And the Trondheim Baseball Club watching in on Facebook Live say, way to go, Alec. Good job. Check swing, no swing from Torgerson. On a ball in the dirt. And he swings and misses at that one, low and away. The Trondheim Baseball Club well represented on this Norwegian international team, of course. Bendik Johansen and Alec Nielsen have pitched in this ball club. Proud members of that fine baseball club in Trondheim. That's up and away. There's a line drive and a shot to right field. Into his pull field. Torgerson is a nice base hit there. Leads off the inning with a single, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, first baseman Chris Malsh. And Malsh watches that one in for a strike at the letters. So Norway have had base runners in every inning. They've had one base hit in each inning to date and failed to capitalize on it. They have left two men on base in the third inning. In the first two, they had base runners thrown out and doubled off. Malsh fouls that one away. Swings at it, and it's a foul ball off the base of the bat and skips all the way to the wall. The wall, of course, a unique feature here at the ballpark at Ashburn. It minimizes the chance of scoring on a wild pitch or a pass ball as a hard thrown pitch is liable to rebound directly back to the catcher should it scoot away to the wall. Torgerson at first, nobody out, and Malsh with 2 strikes on him. Puts that one on the ground, and that's a base hit. Back-to-back base hits here. That one a seeing eye single that splits third and short. And there's runners at first and second with nobody out for the catcher, Gunnar Henriksen. Swing and a miss from Henriksen. Greece now have a right-hander warming up in the visitors' bullpen. Is Henriksen with 1 strike on him, digs in. And a weak swing at that one for 2 strikes. Henriksen calls time, steps out. Got to gather himself. That was a very half-hearted effort at a swing. At a fastball that was right there. That one is on the ground. It will stop foul. Billy Les gloves it in foul territory, and they're going to trot back to first and second. Gunnar Henriksen had, of course, a single in his first at-bat in the second inning, but he was doubled off on a fly ball to right field. The Norwegian backstop felt he was hard done by. He thought the throw took Sikopoulos off the bag, but the call was made all the same. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Henriksen is sent down for 1 away. In that kind of situation, the fault is on the base runner. He went way more than halfway on what was a very shallow fly ball to right field. And despite the fact that this was a shutout, that was the first strikeout of the game for the pitcher, Nick Lettuce. Casper McWilliam digs in. He grounded, or rather he lined into that double play. Both runners in motion. The throw is way late, and even the big guy, Chris Malsh, gets up there. So the double seal works, takes away the force at third and second. And McWilliam is going to dig in. McWilliam, in his last at-bat, lined out to shallow right field. John Kalivas was played perfectly. And it ended up a double play as he was able to throw out the base runner at first. So McWilliam, who has had a couple of base hits as a pinch hitter in this tournament to date, looking for one as a starter, and that's a swinging strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts after the back-to-back base hits means there's 2 away. And that's going to bring up Erik Bjørnsen. Bjørnsen reached on a walk in his only plate appearance to date. He's 0 for 0. And he watches that one outside. That's in for a strike. The count is at 1 ball and 1 strike to young Erik Bjørnsen. That's in for strike 2. So after getting through 3 clean innings with absolutely no strikeouts, Nick Lettuce is 1 pitch away from striking out the side. Swing, miss, strike 3, and the side is retired. Lettuce goes from no strikeouts to 3 in the space of 1 inning. Greece they give up 2 hits, but Norway can't score a run. 2 men are left on base. It's 7-0 ball game, and we go to inning number 5. Right. All right, let's go. Top of the 5th here in your ball game at the International Baseball Center at Ashburn. Up steps Johnny Kalivas. He is 1 for 1 with a solo shot. He also walked and scored a run in his first plate appearance. So he has 2 runs to his name. He watches that one in for a strike at the letters. Alec Nilsson will continue on the mound. He shut him down in the 4th. A 1-base hit. There's a ground ball fouled away for strike 2. And the Greek hitters, so good at taking out the fastball and depositing it over the fence, have struggled with the change of pace that Nilsson has offered. And that one hits him. So Kalivas is aboard. He remains 1 for 1. So up comes Jamie Lekas. He started the game at second base and is your catcher for Team Greece now. He's got a runner at first with no away after the hit by pitch. Pickoff move from Nilsson, and Kalivas is safe at first. There's a ball on the ground, but foul the wrong side of the third base bag. So Jamie Lekas facing Alec Nilsson. Pickoff move across to John Kalivas at first, but he's safe. Chris Malsh has really done his job at first base since moving across the diamond from the hot corner. Runner in motion, ball on the ground, base hit. And they're going to hold Kalivas at second. So the hit and run will just see the runner advance as far as second base. So nobody out. We go back around to the top of the order. Max Gorin. Gorin is having a great ball game so far. He is 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Doing his job as a leadoff man. He has 2 singles and a double to his credit. And now he has the opportunity to pad this lead with a runner in scoring position and a man on first. Gorin against Nilsson. Watches that one high for a ball. So that last play was a hit and run where the runner goes in motion and the batter will swing at anything. It's an attempt to avoid a double play as the runner will get a head start moving on the field. But that one got through for a seeing eye single. That one just misses from Nielsen. Pickoff move? No, just a spin and a check him back to second base. Kalivas not too far off the bag. He just retreats. So Kalivas at second. Lekkas at first and nobody out. Gorin swings, line drive. Out to left field where it's a base hit. Kalivas will be held at third on a good throw. The throw will be deflected back to the catcher. So a base hit, and Greece are content to play station to station. The bases are loaded, and that brings up the shortstop, Peter Maestrales. Norway have got two right-handers warming up at the moment in the hometown bullpen. Nielsen from the stretch. Gets his strike. Maestrales, the switch hitter, will change around. His last at-bat, he got a hit by pitch. He was facing Bendik Johansson, the lefty, so he batted right-handed. Now facing the right-handed Nielsen to seek an advantage, he will bat left-handed. He watches that one in the dirt for a ball. That one is just outside. Henriksen holds it for a fraction of a second longer than he should to try and make the point. There's a deep shot to right field, but it's going to get into the hometown bullpen, a long foul ball. There it is on the ground to Torgerson. He gets behind it. He will take it himself to second base. So they get one out and a run will score. 8-0 your ball game, but Norway do get an out on the play. Torgerson gloved it and just stepped on the second base bag himself. There was no time for a throw as the speedy Maestrales was already at first. Runners at the corners, one away for Costa Capathanasis. So Maestrales is safe at first on a fielder's choice with an RBI to his credit. Capathanasis is 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. He buckled in that one, but it's a ball high, so he does well to hold up. Popped up, back, foul, out of play for a strike. Capathanasis, as we mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, has been a real success story for the Greeks. He is the third on the team in batting average, .375 for the tournament. Runner in motion from first, and a shot deep to center field. Madsen will make the play, and they're going to try and double him off. At first base, a long throw will get him. The runner was in motion. He had rounded second, and on the fly ball, Madsen is able to throw to first base. And Greece can only add one. It's an 8-0 ball game. The heads-up defense by Norway nails the speedy Greeks. They score 1 run on 2 hits. No errors were made, and they leave 1 man on base. We're back right. So, to open up the bottom of the 5th, there will be a pinch hitter for Norway. As Jonathan Whistler is going to come into the game for Jan Glue. Whistler watches that one inside and low, dances out of danger. There's a new pitcher into the game for the Greeks. It is Dimitri Ledas replacing Nick Ledas. Both Ledas boys being cheered on as that one's in for a strike on a check swing by the Staten Island crew watching on Facebook Live. Whistler hits that one. It's a foul ball over the bleachers toward the batting cages. And a high foul ball there. That's out of play. Strike 3 called, and Whistler is sent down. So 1 out with no one on, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Johan Madsen, the left-handed hitter, facing this new pitcher, Dimitri Ledas, who has started off with a strikeout. Nick Ledas had a fine game. He gave up no runs. He scattered 3 hits. And he got 3 strikeouts, all of them in the 4th inning. And that one is fouled right here into the broadcast booth. Correction, it was 5 hits that Nick Ledas gave up over 4 innings. As he managed to, after back-to-back singles in the 4th, Strand 2 runners aboard by striking out the side in order. That's in for a strike as well on Madsen. Swing and a miss, and back-to-back strikeouts for the new pitcher, Dimitri Ledas. It's going to bring up the leadoff man and third baseman, Javier Alvarez. 5 consecutive strikeouts for Greece now. Javier Alvarez led off the game with a unconventional groundout. He hit it right back at the pitcher where it deflected to the shortstop and he was thrown out. He has also walked in his other plate appearance, so he is 0 for 1 with a walk. Stepping up for a third time as he fouls that one away for a strike. That's in for a strike. Alvarez stepped out of the way. He thought it was too far inside, but it's right there. 2 strikes now on Javier Alvarez. And strike 3 called. And the side is retired. 6 strikeouts in a row for Greece. Norway score no runs on no hits, no errors, and they leave nobody on base. 8-0. Greece have a chance to kill it dead here if they get a big inning. We'll be back. So Jan Marhan is into the game to replace Alec Nielsen.
Leading it off for Greece here in the top half of the 6th inning. First baseman, number 7, Ari.
Are we on yet?
Paloulis.
So Ari Sakopoulos is going to step in. He has flied out, struck out, but of course he had that massive 3-run shot in the second. About 350 feet away to deep center field. The fly out was deep as well. He thought he had all of it. He was in his home run trot, but Johan Madsen went out to the track and denied him. Marhan's first pitch is clobbered foul to left field. Just got underneath that one, and Sakopoulos, like many of the Greeks, is going to struggle with a change of pace. They jumped on the Norwegian fastballs early on. Emil Fjellvang, when he threw fastballs in the zone, the Greeks were able to hit them. But Alec Nielsen and Jan Marhan could see some success with that slower kind of pitch that's just outside for a ball. And breaking ball just misses. That's upstairs for a ball. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Real hitters count for a real hitter. Coming into this game, Sakopoulos was hitting .675. And he shoots that one out to deep right field, where Madsen will call off his teammate and make the play. A carbon copy of his last fly out. Deep right center field. And that's one out. That's going to bring up the DH, Dimitri Cortis. Cortis is 1 for 2 with a walk. He has singled, and he has lined out hard to center field in 2 at-bats. And of course, he had that walk in the first. Little bit of a nippy breeze. Slight chill in the air. Time is called. The batter will step out and just get himself ready. Marhan on the mound for Norway. That's in for, just outside for a ball. That one down away for a ball as well. And ball 4 is issued to the DH. He has his second walk of the game. So up comes Billy Les, the third baseman. He is 0 for 2 with a walk.
Runner at first, 1 out. That brings up third baseman number 25, Bill Les.
Les swings at that one, and it's a foul ball.
Heads up.
Line drive to Torgerson. He's going to, he misses his footing. He can't step on the bag for the 6 unassisted putout, and
He was out.
he's beaten by a step to the bag on a slide by the base runner Dimitri Cortis. So a pinch runner for the Greeks as Billy Les comes out of the game. He will be replaced at first base by the Greek number 9, Stephen Pops. So runners at first and second. And at bat is the second baseman, Jordan Cliveris. He started the game as the backstop and has moved to second base now. So Billy Les reached on a fielder's choice with no out. And that one goes in and gets Cliveras to load the bases with nobody out. For John Calivas, who of course had that really good solo shot. He is 1 for 1 with 3 runs scored and an RBI on the solo home run. He has been hit by a pitch and has walked and has scored every time he's made it aboard. So in steps big John Calivas. He gets a hold of one, deposits it out to center field. A runner tagging at third. Madsen can't make the grab. It's on the ground. They're going to try and throw to second base. This time they get him. A force out. But the runner will score. So it's a sacrifice fly. And the out will be made instead at second base on the force out.
Sacrifice fielder's choice.
So a sort of a sacrifice fielder's choice if you're scoring along at home. Runners at the corners now. And up comes Jamie Lekas. John Kalivas gets another RBI to his credit. He remains 1 for 1. 2 RBIs and 3 runs scored, so he's having a fine ball game. He's over there at first base. The pinch runner, Stephen Pops, has made it to third. That's in for a strike. Dimitri Kortrus scored. And Jordan Tliveras, who was hit by a pitch in the previous plate appearance, was erased from the base paths on the force out. Swing and a miss. For a strike. That's in the dirt. That's on the ground for a foul ball. 9-0 ball game to Greece here in the 6th. They had that monster second inning. A 3-run shot from Ari Sakopoulos, underlining a 5-run frame. We have a chance of another big inning here. Oh, swing and a miss, foul tip, strike 3. And the side is retired. So Norway can hold them to 1 hit, to 1 run. On no hits, no errors, and they leave 2 men on base. All right, let's go back. Yep. We're back to our ball game, bottom of the 6th here. Greece lead this one 9-0. Norway need to score to stay competitive in this one. They're playing for nothing but pride. They are bottom of the standings, but are a proud nation, a proud team. In steps the DH Armando Rodriguez. He's 1 for 2 with a single. He was thrown out trying to stretch that to a double. He swings and misses for strike 1. He also lined out hard to the right fielder. Watches that one. Oh, in for a strike at the letters. And a quick 0-2 hole. Greece, through the lettuce boys, have... Oh, there's a pop out into... Oh, dead ball territory. He's safe. Foul. Just saying there, the Greece have recorded their last 6 out via consecutive strikeouts. Nick Lettuce got 3 swinging strikeouts in the 4th. And then Dimitri Lettuce in relief got 3 strikeouts in the 5th. And swing and a miss. 7 straight strikeouts for the Greeks. So Armando Rodriguez is the first Norwegian out, and in comes Stefan Torgerson. He's 1 for 2. The base hit and a stolen base to his name. But like all of his teammates so far, he has not scored a run. First pitch on the ground. Sakopoulos goes way to his left, tries to flick it. That's a great defensive play between Sakopoulos and Lettuce. Sakopoulos had to flick it out of his left hand as he was being pulled by the ball. And a slide to the bag by Dimitri Lettuce beats the base runner. There's 2 away. And up comes Chris Malsh. Malsh is 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. First pitch in for a strike at the thighs. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Strike 3, swinging, and 1, 2, 3 go the Norwegians for the 2nd inning in a row, and we're going to go to the 7th. All right, let's go. Top of the 7th here in the International Baseball Center at Ashburn. The designated hitter, Armando Rodriguez, is going to take to the bump. So he is going to pitch. He's going to continue to hit in the 2nd slot of the Norwegian batting order. And the designated hitter is erased from the game. So stepping in is the leadoff man for Greece, Max Gworin. Having a great ball game, 4 for 4 with 2 runs scored, a double and 3 singles to his name. He watches that one for a strike. He's 8 for 12 on the tournament. And definitely the top of the Greek leaderboard on hitting is between him and the big first baseman, Ari Sakopoulos, who has added to his massive RBI total. That one's in for a strike today, but is sort of falling behind Gworin in the batting average as he is 1 for 4. Only that massive home run to his name. There is another single for Gworin. He has a 5-hit ball game.
Nobody out. That'll bring up the shortstop, number 5.
That's the way to have a ball game. That's the way to pad your stats. He's 9 for 13 for the tournament now, as he has seen the ball well. Pete Maestrales is going to step in. Switch hitter, batting from the right-hand side of the plate, left-handed to the right-handed Armando Rodriguez. That's in for a called strike. Outer half of the plate. Out stomach high. Nice pitch. That one misses. Pickoff move is unsuccessful. And another ball. That one's in for a called strike. So 2 strikes now on Pete Maestrales. He's 0 for 2. He's walked and been hit by a pitch. He's reached on a fielder's choice and he's grounded out. Had that runners in motion, ball on the ground. Nice hit and run play here. Torgerson will fire across the mulch and they'll take the one out. The runner safe at second. And with a 9-run lead, Greece didn't want to just send that runner on a straight steal, be accused of some Bush League tactics. They want to get to 10. They want to shut this game down. So the hit and run is a nice compromise on that one. Pinch hitter in for Costa Kapithanasis is number 36, Angelos Argyropoulos. So the veteran Argyropoulos will make his tournament debut. He gets his first at-bat of the European Sea Pool Championships here. He replaces Costa Kapithanasis, who's had a decent game. He's 1 for 4 with a run scored and 2 RBIs. Had a good tournament. Argyropoulos watches that one at his neck for a ball.
Pinch hitter for Greece, number 34, Angelos Agripopoulos.
36.
That's in for a strike. Ball and a strike. He watches that one inside. A good take. 2 balls and 1 strike. Argyropoulos, a very popular figure, being cheered on by this big Greek crowd. He watches that one for ball 3. 3-1 now. When he pops that one up into foul ground, it's going to be a foul ball. Dead.
Fans, reminder, there is a blue BMW license plate 172D792.
So the count is full, 3-2.
Talking the ambulance.
And he fouls that one away to stay alive.
Your vehicle or it will be towed. License plate 172D792, a blue BMW. Thank you.
Swing and a miss and a strikeout. Rodriguez gets his man and Argyropoulos is sent down, but he still gets the rapturous applause of these adoring Greek fans.
2 outs.
It's going to bring up Arisakopoulos.
Hitter first baseman, number 7, Ari Sekapoulos.
Sakopoulos 1 for 4 with a 3-run home run. And And that one's a wild pitch all the way to the wall. It's going to allow Guarin to make it to third base. That one just misses outside. So 2 balls and no strikes. With 2 open bases, you get the feeling Rodriguez can be very cautious around Sakopoulos, not give him the pitch he wants. And that one misses as well, so it's 3-0. And there is a line drive, base hit. Sakopoulos gets his second hit of the ball game. And another RBI to his already swelling total. So RBI single makes it 10-0. Ari Sakopoulos safe at first with 2 away, and that's going to bring up the DH, number 29, Dimitri Cortis. Cortis is 1 for 2 with 2 walks and 1 run scored. And he swings at that one and fouls it straight back. That one's on the ground to third base, where Alvarez will throw across the diamond to Malsh, and he throws out the trotting Cortis. And that's the second time we've seen Cortis sort of fail to leg out a play. He could have scored on that tag-out double play, so maybe carrying an injury into this one. He is DHing, of course, rather than playing his natural position of third base. It's a 10-0 ball game. Greece score 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave the big Ari Sakopoulos at second base. They could possibly shut this one down right here and now. Norway have to score to stay alive. We're back with the bottom of the 7th right after. Bottom of the 7th, coming up here. Greece have a commanding lead against Norway.
For Norway, the catcher, number 9, Gunnar Henriksen.
Gunnar Henriksen is going to step in and face Dimitri Lettas. And a reminder that you can help support the Irish National Baseball Team program through the GoFundMe URL on your screen right now. Help us defray the costs of running an amateur baseball program, tournament costs, travel costs, beverage and food costs. All for these amateur baseball players trying to realize their dreams of Tokyo 2020. The road to Tokyo starts here at Ashbourne. We got Ireland-Slovenia this evening at 5:30, but right now Greece have all but guaranteed themselves, as that one is in for a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike. Greece have all but guaranteed themselves a spot in the final against Ireland. They will look to bounce back from a run rule defeat earlier on in the week. That one goes to the shortstop, Maestralis, throws across to Sakopoulos, and that beats Henriksen. First out is recorded. Greece 2 away from a shortened victory. They haven't really been stretched out. Norway have had a couple of base runners. They have 5 hits in total. Greece have recorded now 10 consecutive outs, 8 of them via the strikeout. 9 of them via the strikeout, rather. That's in for a strike. 8 of them via the strikeout. I was right the first time. Swing and a miss, strike 2. This is Casper McWilliam, the second baseman at the plate here, facing Dimitri Lettas, the relief pitcher. who strikes him out. And Lettuce has been lights out since he came in. He has not allowed a base runner. He has conceded, not allowed a base runner at all. He has 5-6 strikeouts in 2 2/3 innings. So McWilliam sent down. And there's a pinch hitter for Norway, replacing Eric Bjørnsen. Is Erland Mailing.
Pinch hitter for Norway, number 25, Nelly.
Erland Mailing going to step in, and he swings at the first pitch. It's a strike. Off-speed pitch, finds his own for strike 2. And he fouls that one away to stay alive. Swing, miss, ball in the dirt. They're going to tag him out, and that's your ball game, folks. Greece win this one on a scoreline of 10-0. That's the 10-run rule. We're going home after the 7th. Greece dominant in this one. 11 hits, scoring 10 runs. They had that big 3-run shot from Ari Sakopoulos, the solo dinger from John Kalivas, and plenty of hits right the way through. Norway, unfortunately ineffective. Player of the game, undoubtedly the 5-for-5 leadoff man, Max Gworin. 4 singles and a double to his name. He scored 3 runs. He certainly set the tone for the Greeks, who made very few mistakes out there. A very clean ball game. No errors recorded by either side in the ball game, but the superiority of the Greeks rang out, and they will go to the final to face Team Ireland. Join us at 5:30. Exclusively live on Facebook, Periscope, through Twitter and YouTube. Ireland will take on Slovenia. They want to remain perfect to give themselves the best chance of the B pool next year and the road to Tokyo. Your broadcast was brought to you by Foley's New York Bar and Grill, home of the Irish American Baseball Hall of Fame. My thanks to Kevin Cosgrove and Joe Zephyrin on production. I've been Pete Cavanaugh, and we'll talk to you at 5:30. Until then, safe travel.